Hey guys, it's Peter and our Ice Cream Bar. So today I'm making another wig video. As always, if you like this kind of video, if you want to see more of this kind of video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Anyway, this is going to be a slightly different type of wig video. I'm not going to do so much tutorialing. I'm just going to kind of let you guys see what I did and I'll talk about it a little bit. If you want to see more where I explain the process more, then you can check out my playlist of wig making videos, and I will leave a link in the description on how to make a wig cap. So this was kind of a new project for me. This is a type of wig I normally would not make for a character, but I had this Teeswater fiber, which is from it's a type of wool, and I wanted to try using it. I had bought it on Etsy almost a year ago, and it came pre-dyed with acid dye. I hadn't used it because I had tried to go about my normal method of styling as I would alpaca hair, and the way the wool turned out once it was flat ironed was not quite so glossy and nice and pretty, so I thought I would try doing something different with this hair that I've had for so long. And this is the first really craft art thing I've done in my new apartment, so I know that the lighting in these videos isn't always perfect and things like that, but I don't have professional lighting and I'm trying to figure out a better setup in this new apartment than in my last one, but I haven't quite done that yet. So anyway, so basically I'm just going to be using this hair in its natural state, more or less. This hair has been cleaned, it's been dyed obviously, but those curls are how the wool naturally appears. It's definitely a very cool fiber to use if you want that style. I will say, I have never worked with wool fiber before on a doll wig, and I have never had or styled hair that was curly like that. So it was a whole new thing for me. I didn't quite know how to style it and didn't quite know what to do with it, so you'll see what I came up with. It was definitely a learning experience. I'll definitely, if I make another curly wig like this, I will know a lot better what to do next time around. Otherwise, I'm pretty much just following the method I normally do, and you'll notice that I finally managed to take the doll's shirt off before making the wig, like you probably should, unless you want to get fiber all over their doll clothes. I also just want to say, I keep getting the question, I don't have Mod Podge, what else can I use? And people have responded to that comment like, oh, just use Elmer's glue, and you probably can. I like Mod Podge. I think it dries clear, and it's just a little bit flexible when it dries. I've not tried this with Elmer's. It would probably be about the same. Just make sure you're getting a clear drying glue and something that you can use with a paintbrush that isn't going to dry too quickly. That would be my fear with Elmer's glue, that it would just dry really, really fast. Also, guys, you can get Mod Podge at like any craft store and it's really cheap. Personally, I really like Mod Podge. That's what I use, but obviously you can use whatever you want. Now here what I'm doing is I'm basically making a sort of top to the hair, and I'm just taking a longer fiber that's kind of double the length of the other ones, and in the middle of that fiber putting a dab of glue, and you can see I've bent it over and I'm just using the brush to hold it in place while it dries. So that way I'm actually going to pull the hair back and make a little sort of ponytail on the top of the head, but if I decided not to do that, I would also have a top of the hair, but I wanted this big giant thing to be a little more manageable. So you can see that little ponytail that I made, and now I'm going to try styling the hair before I would go ahead and cut it. Like I said, I've never really worked with curly hair before, so it was a new experience for me, and I was not quite sure how to style it, how to work with it. This step, in the end, I realized was not necessary. At the time, it seemed like there wasn't enough hair under the ponytail, but looking at it now, I realize, well, obviously there's not hair under the ponytail because that hair would be making up the ponytail, on a real person. I went ahead and I added a bunch of extra hair under the ponytail, which made this wig all the more poofy. So this is like a delightful poofy garden of beautiful, beautiful colors. I don't know. So I worked with that for a while, and then I was debating if I should put some hair underneath the ponytail as well. I decided not to. Now I'm just gonna take some scissors, and when you work with fiber, especially fiber that is in its natural state, you're going to get a lot of loose hairs making kind of a weird halo effect around the wig you're making, so I'm just trying to trim some of those off. You probably can't see them too well, But I'm just trimming those off before I start doing my styling because I'm going to use heat and I don't want those little fibers to get matted on top of the wig. So I'm going to trim off as many of those as I can. And then from this point, I'm going to take actually some hair moisturizer cream because I noticed that wool, this type of wool in particular, was very, very dry, and I didn't want to use heat styling on this super, super dry hair because I was afraid it wouldn't do what I wanted it to, so I used a little bit of that, and then I'm just going to take a paper towel, and I'm going to get it pretty wet, not dripping wet, but fairly damp, and I'm going to start getting the wig a little bit wet. I don't want to just completely soak it, because that's going to take way too long to style. I just want to get it damp enough that I can style it with a low heat. And then I'm going to just squeeze the rest of the water out of that paper towel onto the wig so it drips down and the wig can soak up some of that water. And then from this point, I'm just going to take a paper towel as a little bit of a shield for the doll and for my hand, and I'm going to take a hair dryer, blow dryer, on the lowest possible setting, so this will take a while, and I'm going to start styling the hair in the way that I want it to be styled, so it will lay a little bit flatter, and the idea was to make it less poofy. Of course, I added all that extra hair and made it poofy anyway. Definitely make sure if you're using heat styling while the wig is on your doll, make sure you're using a very, very low heat. It did take me a really long time to do this, so we will skip most of that. And yeah, that's kind of what I did. I ended up talking a lot more than I thought I would. Sorry. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you like these videos, consider checking out my Patreon page. And yeah, thank you guys, and I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.